Is anybody disappointed with a dog that runs out to the object, picks it up, and brings it back to you and holds it nicely and says, "Here you go"? Steadiness has a lot of different meanings, I think. Steadiness is something that is very important to me as an owner. It's not just, it is a hunting thing. So one rule of steadiness, or one reason for steadiness, sit down, is we want to have a lot of distractions that don't get in the way of our job. Now keep in mind, she's been with me I got her like right before Christmas. When I first got her, I was unable to do this. I could not throw a dummy up and over her head without her turning around and running to get it. Callie, here. What's real important is 3 tennis balls and a dummy just went past her. She didn't break. One went over the top of her, no issue. And then I said to her, "Come by me, away from those things." And she said, "I gotta do what he said to do, and that's come to me." Now, I have heard people make arguments of, you're taking away that dog's drive. You gotta build the drive in a retriever. Go back. Is anybody disappointed with a dog that runs out to the object, picks it up, and brings it back to you and holds it nicely and says, "Here you go"? Anybody got an issue with that? Me neither. So I want to strike the idea of, we got to build their drive. Is anybody here think that their dog has drive issues? Most of you are here because your dog has more drive than you know what to do with. So let's not worry about that. This is not just for retrieving stuff. This is for when you go for a walk and you need to get the mail. So you heeled the dog down to the driveway, but you don't want to get him so close to the road, so you tell him sit. And then you walk over and you check your mail and you get your mailbox. And then you come back to him and then you say, "Okay, come on, let's go back." Like, I can name you thousands and thousands of. Today, how many times did you see me put her? Now, she faltered a little bit on it. She wandered on me after an hour of laying in the sun. She went and laid in the pond. I don't blame her. Probably wasn't the best setup that I put her in. And that's that. You guys are getting real good. Look around yourselves right now and look at your neighbors and then look at your dogs, because you guys look real good. We're developing in a very short period of time of understanding with these puppies that we are going to stand still quite a bit here this weekend. But at the same time, we're right at the end, we got the end of the lead, and that's probably makes the most sense for some of these dogs. For some of these older dogs and dogs that have got a little bit of the steadiness built, it's time to start putting them a little bit on an island. And instead of having them on the end of the lead, it might be as simple as taking a step away from them and having them stay there. So we're going to start talking about how do we, because you can't go from A to Z. You can't go from being on lead and sitting quietly to throwing tennis balls by them and pitching dummies and calling them. It's too big of a jump. They'll fall, they'll trip. So how do you start it out? And we'll start it out with on lead, in lead position. And I like to incorporate this with the idea of sitting to the whistle. We're going to incorporate a few more distractions, and we're just going to slowly build off of it. We're going to go back to the old anchor, the old heel work. Heel work's going to be real important. And so the first thing I'm going to do is start to get the dogs to understand that when we stop, we're going to sit. We walk, we stop, they sit. We walk, they stop, they sit. We start getting them to get the idea of, when we walk, they say heel, he starts with his left leg, he gives me all these clues, I stay in this right position, and then when I get where we're gonna get, I should sit down. Because eventually, we're gonna start having them sit with the whistle. Someone's doing it already, peep into the whistle. So it's gonna be heel, sit. So let's start out with Kayla. You're gonna heel forward, And then stop. Now, the one thing that you can start to do is, what's the most important thing about starting out? It's, yeah, but it's getting yourself set. Where's she got to go?
Go this way and
yeah, exactly. So if you said started out now with heel, what did she do? She moved this way, it got in your way, and right away we're tripping over our dog. So alignment to start. It's like sending a dog for a retrieve. We're going to do retrieves next session. We would never send that dog for a retrieve out in front the way she's facing, because she's telling you, her body language is clearly telling me which direction she's going. It's that way. So we always want to get back into this position of heel work is right here facing that way. I'm really glad to see you adjust that dog, because before kind of moseying around and trying to get behind you, and so now you're in a good spot. So now let's let them settle. So now you're in position. Now you can, Kayla, heel. Loosen that lead so that you have, and then stop, sit. See the bad habit? Face you. So take a step forward. Take a step forward until you want to change that habit. That's going to be a tough one, because I bet you she's going to watch every time he stops and tells her to sit. What she's going to do? She's going to spin around and sit facing crooked. So we got to change that. Loose lead, loose lead, loose lead. There you go. Stop, sit.
Sit.
Every time. Stop, square up, sit. So now we're not going to allow it to happen. Heel. Heel. Sit. Good. See the difference? So I was there. I knew what she was going to do. I read her playbook. She's got one move. It's spin around in front and be real slow about it. She's real methodical about it. Heel. You sit, Callie. Heel. Sit. Good. Good. And she starts to scoot, so what do? I move. Get her back in position. By her getting to scoot in front of me, I walk into her. Now she's in good position. Good. Heel. Sit. Sit. Good. Heel. Sit. Good. Heel. Sit. Sit. Good. Heel. Sit. Good. See how her intensity is up a little bit? Come on over. It's a little bit of uncertainty, which I'm taking advantage of. She's not sure what to think about me on the other end of the line yet. But you know what she did? She gave right into me. She handled it really well. But you see how sporty she seemed? Instead of kind of lollygagging along and being a nice lazy sit, now loosen your lead. So you have a tendency to always tense. You always want to have it up. It's not to correct, it's because you're not able to release. And when you release, she changes. When you tense up and hold it up that high, it's doing you no good. It's making it harder to correct, because it's making it harder for her to understand when she's doing it right or wrong, because there's too much of this gray area. So you got to really focus on loose lead, loose lead. You see what that hardware is doing right now? It looks like the letter J. Mm-hmm. That's how I want it. Yep. So heel her forward, and then be ready to use. What I had to do with her was I had to be really good with my hand to get her, instead of circling in front, don't give her enough that she can make the turn. Sit, sit. So be ready for that. It's like shifting a gear. Sit, sit. And you gotta be nice and sharp. Okay, spin her around, spin her around. She's got to you got to use your body to get her in the right spot. Sit there. Good. Do it again. Sit. Sit. Good. Good. Do it again. Loose lead and sit. Sit. Walk into her when she does that. There. Sit. There. Do it again. Do it again. And sit. Sit. Take a step forward. Don't let her. Here, remember yesterday we said, don't train a bad habit in today that you're gonna have to train out later. You know what? This is not the worst of bad habits. Dog just has a bad positioning, has bad footwork. It's gonna make this a hell of a lot harder than it should be. Sit. There. Beautiful.
Sit.
Good.
Good girl.
Release it. Release it so you can put it on, and don't let her do that. Get up. Good. Now move forward. Don't give her the chance to readjust and go back to her old comfortable ways. Turn and come back this way. Good. Very good. Loose lead. Loose lead. Now heel forward. Don't let her get in front of you. Heel her forward. Go heel. Walk right into her. There you go. Be ready because you know what your move is.
Sit. Sit.
Move forward. She's really going back to the same thing she always does. She's going, I just don't want to do this anymore, so we're going to get it right.
Sit.
Here, I'm going to take her again. Heel. Heel. Sit. Sit. Good. Heel. Sit. Good. Heel. Sit. Good. Heel. See how short and choppy I am? Look how nice she just tight. Sit. Sit. Good. Heel. Sit. Good. Heel. Sit. Good. Sit. Good. Heel. Sit. Good. Heel. Sit. Sit. Good. Let's let her rest. Next time you go, what I want you to remember is short, choppy. Short and choppy. Short. You know, this is the opposite of what I told you should do when you're spinning your shoulders. Because what I said when you're spinning our shoulders is don't be short and choppy. Because that's hard on the other side. But when you're slow and smooth, and she's so used to doing something because she's done it forever and she just doesn't know any other way, she's going along with your dance. You guys dance really good together, it's just the wrong dance. So you got to change it now. So we got to get her to pay attention. So slow and smooth is not working. Get short and choppy. Get her attention. Get her to pay attention. Get her to realize this is a different dance. So I got to pay attention to a different dance. Sit. 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 Good. And then we're going to move in with a whistle later.